Hey YouTubers, going to show you something kind of unusual. This is a British Marx train. So otherwise this was manufactured in Great Britain and designed to look like a British steamer. It's a 3978 and it was manufactured under the license of Marx Trains. And these are extremely difficult to find in the US and actually becoming more and more rare in Great Britain. And you'll see the little bumpers here as the European trains had. You won't see a Cowcatcher on the front because they didn't have open range in Great Britain, and the cows weren't running over the tracks, or the buffalo, and whatever. And you'll also see a very small support back here, and I think they may have had this open at one time. Most cabs on British steam trains are fairly open, and I'm guessing Marx put this tiny little support up there just to keep the integrity of the cab and the roof from breaking. Now you're going to see something missing here, and what's missing here is the side rods. And there's no hole drilled in the wheel, and I believe these motors probably came from the US because the mounting bracket has a slot for a side rod. I've only seen one 3978 with a side rod on it, with side rods on it, and saw it on YouTube. I have no idea if the owner decided to put them on. I want to leave this stock. It came without side rods, and we don't really know why. If Louis Marx didn't sent the motors without the side rods to England and the wrong wheels or what. But that's the way they came out on the majority of 3978s. So I'm going to leave it that way. You'll see the smaller tender. The British train stations were closer together than the ones in the US, so they didn't need gigantic tenders for coal and water. They could stop at the in 25 or 30 miles and get a little more coal or a little more water, and where our trains would have to go 150 miles. And I think these passenger cars are fantastic. I had to measure them. I wasn't sure. I thought they looked like they were a foot long. It's just because they're so much longer than our common Marx 6-inch cars. They're actually 9 1/4 on the roof, but they're terrific color. And you'll see at the top it says LM, which was one of the train lines in Great Britain, and Mar lines, and LM again, and little tiny insignia of Mar lines there in the middle. And it says Great Britain on the other side of the train, made in Great Britain. And train, I should have said Pullman. And you'll see the exact same car again, except this is facing the right direction. And I don't know if you can see it or not. It says made in GT period Britain, abbreviations for Great Britain. So let's move the train, turn it on, and run it around the track a couple of times. You have to listen to my squeaky chair because I screwed up my knee, and so I'm not standing up and taping this like I usually do. So let's turn on the power. Transformer. See what direction it wants to go. It wants to go reverse. So let's take her by slow and forward. camera a little too close. Move back a little. Good little motor, fast little train. I'm going to stop it and show you something else that kind of amazed me. These wheels were dirty. I always when I receive an older engine, I overhaul it, so I cleaned up the engine really well, cleaned up the brushes and the commutator plate, and got it running really well, but found out it didn't want to pull these cars around. And I discovered that there was a lot of crud inside the where the axle comes to the truck. Then I discovered something else that absolutely amazed me. Don't know if it'll show here on the camera, but there's a slot that goes up and down vertically that these wheels fit in, and I'm assuming it's for when they go over O-gauge track, which is, you O-gaugers know, we don't have to have exactly as perfect track, perfectly laid track as HO and N gauge to get our trains to run there, because our trains are heavy. But what I noticed is the wheels have the ability to go up and down inside these trucks, which I have never seen on any other American train. I've definitely never seen them on Marx. So this is something that I assume the British came up with, and this may be common on British trains, but something I have never seen before, or British toy trains I should say. So bring her back, give you a picture of the whole train, and I'm turning 64 this next month, so this was my present to myself. And next month I'll run it around the track, and hopefully my knee will be healed up. We'll have to be sitting in a chair, and I'll play the Beatles when I'm 64. And also, I forgot, I have two British Marx freight cars here. This is an L&M lines open gondola, I believe they call it. And this one is a benzene car. And it says Danger Benzene 1472, capacity 5,000 gallons before they went to metric. So hopefully someday I'll find a little Marx made in Britain freight train, and I can add these to the freight train. The tab and slot couplers do not line up with my passenger cars, or I would have added it to the passenger train. So, any rate, there she is again. I think it's a really cool little train. And thanks for watching, and take care. Bye-bye.